Okay, today more about permutations and combinations. And the main thing we're trying to make sure you get is the difference between them, and also learn how to actually do the formulas to find them by yourself without a calculator. I'll also tell you how to do it with a calculator. All right, do you get that on a barcode like this? You've got a whole bunch of numbers across the bottom. That's like a whole bunch of blanks that you could have filled in. And how many choices did they have? When they were deciding on this barcode, how many choices of number could they have put there? They had 10 choices, yeah. So really, there's a whole bunch of barcodes that a person could pick out. Did you know that every barcode is unique? So that means that if I build a product and I want to sell it at Walmart, I go to this National Registry of what do you call those again, barcodes, and I say, I want a barcode for my, schnoodle dipper. And this schnoodle dipper then has this barcode assigned, and it will only be for that schnoodle dipper for the rest of time. Well, how can they do that? Well, because there's so many barcodes you can assign. All right. Well, this would be an example of order matters. I've been saying it order patterns just to kind of annoy you into remembering that that's a what? Permutation is where order matters. Obviously, in a number, the order of the number matters, because 123 is different than 321. Okay, how about this? First, second, third place, order matters. American Idol, I don't know if I like this example, because I think order kind of matters there. Like, if you're number one, then, that's a big deal on the show. So I don't know if that's a good example of order doesn't matter. But definitely in food, on pizza, you call up and order pizza, like I'm going to do on Thursday, having some friends over, and I call them up and I say, I'd like a pepperoni and sausage pizza in that order. They're going to be like, what's wrong with that guy? Because you don't normally care what order you put the pizza together in. I mean, other than obviously crust on the bottom, I guess I could get the whole sauce on the top versus on the bottom. Like, I don't really like sauce on top. Some people do. That's Chicago style. But anyway. So in our pizza problems, we're all going to be doing them where the order does not matter. So cheese pepperoni and pepperoni cheese is the same thing. All right. Moving on. The formula. Do you remember this formula? Let's see if you do. Why don't you try writing down the formula? If I were going to do this problem, 8p3, would you tell me what factorial over what factorial would you do? Some of you remember it from yesterday. Some of you are going to draw a blank. Give it a shot, turn it my way, and tell me what you think you'd do. All right. One person knows it. I guess I can quit now. Good. 2 people know it. I think you're doing a different factorial than I was. I was doing 8p3. I think you're doing like 3p2 or something. So, good. Yes. Have it? Yes. Wait a minute. I think it had to be on the bottom. I think your number on the bottom was wrong. I'm still waiting for lots of you. Turn them my way, please. Good. 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 I think you have an extra one in there that you don't want. All right. Here you go. In case you, for one of the ones that didn't know it, 8 factorial over 8 minus 3, which would be the same as 5 factorial. Okay, so you take this number minus this number to get the bottom one. That's all there is to it. And then the official fancy-looking formula here is that. N factorial, where n is that first number, over n minus r factorial. Okay, let's actually do a problem where the order matters then. Okay, there is all of us, there's 30 of us in here, are going to go out and we want to pick a group of 5 of us that get to be on one team for basketball. We're going to represent against another team that's going to pick their 5. Okay, so we pick 5 people in here. Not in any order, just like 5 people. They don't have to be ranked from best to worst or whatever. Just going to pick 5 of them. Would you write me a little problem for that? Is it going to be a something P something or a something C something? Is it a P or a C? You tell me. But from the situation, you should be able to tell, is it a P or a C? If I pick 5 of you, does the order matter? All right, this is a crucial thing to understand, so I'll make sure you get it. You can tell if the order matters if there is a rank, like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. If I pick 5 people, that does not necessarily mean that I ranked them. So look for keywords like race or competition or first place, second place, third place. Those are all P's. It's like things like committees or groups. Those are C's. So the problem I just described should be a C. So there were 30 of us, C5. All right, if you were going to do this problem, you'd need the other formula, which is a lot like it. It goes 30 factorial over what? 30 minus 5, which would be 25 factorial. And then, because it's a C problem, an extra what? An extra one of those, 5 factorial. Okay, now, could you do this with a calculator? Yup. You could use the factorial button. You'd want to put this part in parentheses because it's big. Anytime you have a big part of a problem, you know what, just to be safe, put the top in parentheses too. So I'd like you to try this. Put in 30 factorial in parentheses divided by parentheses 25 factorial, 5 factorial. That is a way that your graphing calculator could do this. It will be a big answer. Don't be surprised. That's how many little groups of 5 we could pick out from this class. Okay, if you're not using the calculator, you probably need to borrow one or something. All right, so here we go. 30 factorial over 25 factorial times 5 factorial. So I suggested you use parentheses. 30. Forgot where factorial is. It's under math. Arrow over to PRB. And down to factorial, which is the exclamation mark. 30 factorial, parentheses, divided by, parentheses, 25 factorial, 5 factorial. Math. Factorial. I'm going to say times just to be safe. 5 factorial. Math. PRB. And the parentheses. Enter. Raise your hand if you got 142506. Okay, awesome. If you didn't, then make sure you know what you did wrong because you've got to be able to type these puppies in. All right, now there's another way, a little bit faster way. Can we just do a C or a P problem? C. Everybody type in, we're going to do 30C5 right off just directly. We're going to put that directly into your calculator, 30C5. Type in a 30. You know where the C is? It's in the same math menu. Did anybody notice it when we were going past it? Hit math. Go to PRB. Anybody see C? Ah, number 3. See it there? 30C5, enter. Isn't that way faster? Same exact answer, obviously. NCR. N meaning the first number, like 30, is considered N, and the second number, like the 5, is considered the R. P works same way. Yep, it's got a P button there too. All right. So now you know how to do it with a formula. You know how to do it with factorials, and you know how to do it with the button on the calculator called the C button. C for combinations. P would be for what? And which one do you use when order matters? Order patterns. Permutations. Okay, keep that straight. All right. This is the long explanation of how these work, but I've already explained it to you quite a few times, so I think this kind of not necessary for us. We're going to go right to the example 1. Everybody please, right now, get to example 1 in your notes. Try it. Figure out, first of all, is it a P or a C? The bigger number always goes first. So let's say I figure out that since it's a food problem, we pretty much don't care what order we put the toppings on the sundae, then it's a C question. And then the bigger number, which is there are 4 toppings and I'm picking out 2, it always goes like this, 4, 2. This is always the total, or the big number, and this is always how many we're picking. For C2. And then your calculator can do it, but I bet you seriously you could do this one faster in your head if you know the formula. Watch. 4 factorial over 4 minus 2 is 2 factorial, and an extra one of these on the C formula. And so then really what does this mean? 4, I wouldn't have to do this in real life, I'm just explaining it to you. I'd be able to do it way quicker. 4 can cancel the 2 2's on the bottom. And now it's 3 times 2 all over 1, so the answer is 6. See how you probably could do that just as fast in your head if you know what the numbers were? Yeah, if it was like numbers like 38, the calculator would be way better. Because 38 factorial is going to be a pain in the neck. All right, let's move on. Example 2. Without any help, I'd like you, yes, that's an actual picture of somebody diving. Jordan, you're a diver, right? Ever happen? Almost, but not exactly. I can imagine when they're diving off those cement platforms that something like that is really scary. Like you hit your head like that and then you fall 20 feet into the water. Ugh. Anyway. Okay, you have 4 students trying for first and second place in the diving meet. How many different results are possible? All right, so you got to ask yourself, is this a P or a C? And you got to figure out the answer using either calculator or just on paper. You stuck? Okay. This one was a P, and in case you forgot the formula, I put it up on the board there. So 4P2, right? So then that's a 4 factorial over a 2 factorial, and that's it. The P's, you don't have that extra 2 factorial at the end, or the extra one of these, whatever number it is. So this one's just 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. The 2 to 1 are going to cancel, so it's really 4 times 3, which is 12. Raise your hand if you had 12. Okay, good. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. So it's 4 minus the 2 gives me this 2. Yep. So this one's right there. N minus the R. Right? Okay. All right, moving on. Example 3. 3 students are chosen out of 5 to compete in a spelling bee. Now, this is important that you understand. I know it says compete, but they're just chosen. They aren't chosen first, second, and third. They're just a group being chosen. So this is a C question. This one, I want you to do it without the calculator. No calc. Because you got to be able to do it without a calc for today's homework. I wanted to show you how, because I think it helps you understand it. But you got to do this one by hand. And I warned you, it's a C. Really common mistake is to go 3C5. It's 5C3. Five factorial over 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial. Is there anything else? Yep, another one of those. 3 factorial. Then you'd say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Probably quickest to put the dots in after. And then 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. Put the dots in after. Then 3 times 2 times 2 would make 3 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. And I could get a 4 times 3 to make 12. So I can cancel my 12s that way. See how I did that? You can do it other ways if you want. Final answer is 5 times 2, which makes 10. Raise your hand if you had 10 for an answer. Awesome. Okay. I think you've got the idea. I don't think I need to do that one. So on your homework, you have to show your work like with a little formula, and you can't use calculators today. Just one day where we got to make sure you understand it, because some of the tests you're likely to not have a calculator for. So got to know how to do it without the calc. But the calcs will be there for you on other problems that are really tough ones. All right, your homework is, there's actually 2 parts to your homework. The first one is the worksheet itself, which is 12.5b, just like you'd expect. It is extremely easy. You don't have to do the back side of the worksheet, and the front side is really easy. So it's not all of your homework. Your homework is that plus, yep. Let me scroll it up a little bit. Let me see the rest of it on the back side, on the rest of the worksheet. Yeah, you can skip all that part about the graphs and stuff. So it's problems. You can skip problems 9 through 15 on the worksheet. You're only doing the front page, okay? But that is way too easy. I mean, it's good practice to know how to do that, but the actual hard part, I would strongly recommend you do it in class today, and that is working with a partner. You're going to be doing a little homework quiz. And the homework quiz counts as homework, not as a test, but it's way harder than what you're going to have for homework. So do the easy part at home. Right now, you should do the hard part, which is the homework quiz. It is the one called, I guess that's all I have for the video here for today.